Hey, what's up guys? It's another day's vlog, and today we're going to talk about Liquid at Gfinity. And more specifically, we're going to look at their match versus Vox on Dust2. The reason I chose Vox on Dust2 is because I wanted to watch Vox play a little bit. And I've definitely noticed they have a very unique play style. They're very aggressive. They're not afraid to go through smokes, and they play a play style that's much different than everybody else. So I thought it'd be interesting to look at them. Now, we're going to mainly specifically focus on Liquid. And before we do that, I'm going to give an introduction to their team, so you guys understand the type of players that they're playing with, what type of maps they're good at, and things like that. So first off, the maps that they like to play and are best at are these really like gimmicky maps. Like they're best at like overpass, you know, cobble. They're like good cobble players, good overpass players, and they play those maps a lot. They used to like Mirage a lot. I don't know if they're still playing it because they didn't play it at the LAN. They might have vetoed it, but this is actually very good for them versus other American teams, because other American teams are not going to be that great on cobble. They're not going to be that great on overpass. And they're not going to be that great on like maps like Mirage. They're just not. Most American teams aren't. So if you are good on those maps, it gives you a huge upper hand when you play these teams in ESEA and stuff like that. And these teams basically have to veto all these maps, or else you're probably going to beat them. Now against the Euros, it's different. Like being good on these maps, you know, yeah, you'll probably be able to compete with the Euros, like they beat Navi on overpass on it. But these Euros are playing these maps constantly, while the American teams have these constant roster changes. And when you have these roster changes, you're not playing those maps first. The maps you're playing first are Inferno, Dust2, and Cash, and things like that. So obviously, you're going to be better and more prepared on those maps. And usually it takes a team a long time to have that togetherness and be be with each other together for a long time before they're good on those maps like Overpass, Cobble, Mirage, and stuff like that, because you usually don't focus on those first. But anyways, looking at them from the advanced standpoint, they did terrible against NIP. They got 16-2, 16-1, 3 rounds in a best of 3 essentially. Then Navi, they lost on Dust2 16-2. They definitely should have banned Dust2. Navi's one of the best Dust2 teams in the game. You don't want to play them on Dust2 unless your Dust2 is absolutely exceptionally stellar. Navi played Overpass against them and they won, so good job for them. Inferno and Dust2 versus Vox, they didn't get double digits, lost 16-9, 16-8. Started pretty good sides on those maps too. CT side Inferno, T side Dust2, which is completely fine. You can start T side Dust2, doesn't really matter that much. Fnatic on Cobble, that was a dumb decision. You don't want to play Fnatic on Cobble. JW on a map like that is like a nightmare. Dude's gonna find a way to win team rounds, right? Dude's gonna gay you on CT side constantly. Not a good map to play against Fnatic on. And then Fnatic on Cash, and they won on that. So good job for them there. Now, looking more into it, they won around an average of 7.125 rounds in these 8 maps, and they lost an average of 14.5 rounds. So they got pretty crushed at the LAN. Simply put, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, they did really, really poorly. But at least they did take a map off Navi and a map off Fnatic, so good for them there. Now, statistically speaking, you guys got to remember, stats in CS do not mean everything. They help paint a picture, and they give us a brief, a little bit of an understanding of things, but all kills are not created equal in Counter-Strike, okay? It's not how it works. Just not. There's more impactful kills than other kills. Some kills are much more impactful than others, simply put. So you have to really watch the game and understand it to know, what's going on, and statistics do not speak to the whole truth of everything. But they are a good, indicator of things, and definitely something that we could look at. Now, one thing that you notice from these stats is that Adren had probably the worst line out of everybody at the event. You almost never see your Opper bottom frag this hard. You almost never see your Opper bottom frag, period. And if your Opper is bottom fragging, it's generally a huge waste of money economically. So, if you watch Guardian, you watch Kenny S, you watch Schedule, you watch all these great Oppers, they almost never bottom frag. Simple as that. Like, it almost never happens. And there's a reason for that. You're usually able to abuse riflers, and you're usually able to catch rifles off guard and take very advantageous gun battles and win them consistently. And the op is probably the most consistent gun to use. You consistently can take angles where you can consistently get kills. So you almost never have your op bottom frag. Adren, in my opinion, had the worst event at the LAN. statistically speaking, at least. Freakazoid, him, Adren, Nitro, and Escares had the 4 probably, individually speaking, statistically worst LAN out of everyone. Immunity guys had pretty similar stats. They were all like minus 50-ish and stuff like that, but they weren't even like competitive with the teams. So it's not even worth discussing those guys, in my opinion. So anyways, that's how Adren performed. Flowsick. So I'm going to give a brief intro of these guys also. Adren's obviously their opper, and I believe he's calling strats as well. Flowsick is, a lot of you guys don't know him. He's just a pro, man. Like, this guy's been playing for a really long time. He's been playing since 1.6. He's lived in gaming houses in 1.6. He's been salaried in 1.6. And he's a good player. Like, he's going to calm. He's going to do his job. He's going to be in more of an anchor role, if you guys know what that means. So he's going to be on T side, he's going to be holding map control like at B, and then grouping up with his teammates and stuff like that. On CT side, he's going to be playing like Pit on Dust2, Apartments on Inferno, Cache, B site, stuff like that. So he's kind of like an anchor. He's not going to overcommit. He's going to play off his teammates really well. He's a reactionary type player. Okay, there's generally like 3 types of players in this game. There's like your reactionary players who are like playing off other people and things like that. There's your guys that are like your go-get-em type players who take initiative, and they're like your entry fraggers and things like that. And then there's also your, utility players who can kind of do everything, right? So he's more of like an anchor, and he plays off his teammates. On T side, he's not going to be the guy that's going to go in first and like get kills. Usually, he's going to be playing off his teammates. He's going to be playing off the rotation kills, and he's going to do his job that way. On Cache, he'll probably hold like the B push and things like that. And if you compare him to someone like Flusha, like if you watch Flusha play, he'll randomly just be in checker room on T side Cache, first guy in. Like his teammates haven't even done anything in A, done anything in middle, nothing like that. He's just in checker room trying to kill people. Flowsick's not going to do that. He's going to be much more composed. He's going to be, holding back and just kind of, not overcommitting, basically. So that's kind of how he plays. Nitro, he's their guy that's supposed to be their best player, simply put. And I do think he is their best player. He's a player who has exceptional aim. You want to put him in spots where he can use his aim to advantage, and we're going to talk about this more in a minute. But he's the type of player where you want him going in first. You don't want him really holding map control, and you don't want him being a reactionary type player. That's not his strengths. His strengths isn't playing reactionary Counter-Strike. His strengths is going in first, taking the gun battles, and letting his teammates be reactionary off him, and him dictating the pace and dictating those things. On CT side, his roles are kind of really changed like map to map, which I don't like at all. On Cache, he's kind of their A anchor. On Cobble, he's like their B anchor. But then on Inferno, he's playing Porch, and then like on Dust2, he's playing mid B. So he's anchoring some sites, and then some sites he's not playing the anchor, and it's kind of weird, right? And I don't like that. I am not a fan of that at all. I think you should have your roles consistent throughout the maps and your players on T side and CT side. Elige is another guy who I don't think is a reactionary, or is an entry type player. I think he's much more of a reactionary type player. Can be an entry type player in certain scenarios. Like he can go up the banana, and if people are fighting him at the car and stuff like that, he's like an entry fragger in those respects. But in the aspects of the game where entry fragging is concerned, where he's going to run through banana on Inferno, he doesn't really like doing that. Like, running through Cache at A site and doing things like that, he doesn't really like doing that. Like, he doesn't like being in those spots where he's going to be uncomfortable. But he does like being in spots where you could boost him up on the white box at middle, and he can kind of entry frag there. So he can kind of entry frag, but then he doesn't do the entry fragging where he's going up Porch on Inferno and things like that, right? So he's kind of like a picky entry fragger, right? Not able to do those like super hard jobs because they're uncomfortable or he's probably going to die. Not really willing to do that, but he is willing to be the guy that, goes up, gets boosted on a box, and can take a clean gun battle with someone. Then we have Fugly. Fugly I've always been pretty high on. Playing against Fugly, he never really overcommits. He plays, pretty good Counter-Strike. I really like the way he plays on CT side and on T side. He seems like a good team player. He has pretty good aim. He's just a solid player. Like, I think he's like a utility guy. I really think that this is the type of guy who you're going to ask him to do something, he's going to do it. He's not going to be very, picky, choosy. And yeah, I've always been pretty high on him. Like, playing against him, he's never stood out to me as a guy who's going to be like just in your face, like just crazy aim like Nitro and making these crazy plays. But he's the type of guy who like I'm always going to respect to make the proper rotation and play what I call LAN Counter-Strike, where the way he plays online is gonna translate into success on LAN. I think statistics kind of prove that at this LAN, right? I mean, yeah, all of them went negative, but him and Elise did the best out of their team. And then Nitro and Adren, again, did terribly. They probably had the worst LAN I ever run. And Flow6 pretty much where you're going to expect him, you know, middle of the pack, maybe third, fourth guy on the team. So yeah, we're going to get into it more and look at specifics. And we're going to specifically watch them on Dust2 versus Vox. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be right back. All right, so starting out in the match, I really think Vox probably anti-shotted them. I knew that they really like to go out long A on their pistol because you generally don't see 4 CTs go to the long A at the start of the round, especially on a pistol round. So this is like a pretty big read. They're not even watching Fast Cat. You know, this guy's just running to B. It's very common for people to put pressure B early, to go up Fast Cat on pistols, to do all sorts of things. So they probably watched their demos, did their homework, and definitely knew that Liquid likes going out long A. And this was definitely Vox's round to lose. Look how they're set up here. Nitro's out in front and Flow6 a good space behind him, right? Nitro could easily just get instantly headshotted here by, I believe it's AZR. Luckily for him, that doesn't happen. And then look at where everyone else is. Flow6, decent space behind him, but then Elige, Fugly, and Adren are very far away. So essentially, it's going to be a 2-on-4 for a while. So this is Vox's round to lose. I'm going to slow it down. We're going to see Nitro's going to come out of the door. He's going to get in this one-on-one battle with AZR. Neither player is going to hit a thing. Flow6 is going to die to the 3 guys peeking him. A huge nade's going to come out that, honestly, I don't know how it didn't do more damage, but Elige still manages to get a kill even though 3 people are looking at him. So Vox really just missed their shots here, and then Nitro comes out, hits an insane shot there, comes out here, gets that kill, and then that kill. And this is where we're going to talk about it a little bit in a second, a little bit more. But this is where Nitro is really well utilized. When you can get him out in the open, he could play gun battles versus the other people. And he could really just use his aim to his advantage. And not just his aim, but he knows how to win gun battles when it comes to making the guy not hit him. That's just as important as having good aim. If you can't use your movement to your full advantage and full effect, you're not going to be that great in these scenarios. But he's going to crouch up and down. He's going to make sure he's strafing side to side properly to make it very, very difficult to be hit, simply put. And that's a super important part of the game. So they pretty much come out long A and they just destroy them. JKS is coming in, just watching the cross, and this is just super easy one round, you know, pistol around to Liquid. So now we go into the anti-eco, and they actually have a good setup for this. This is a good anti-eco. They have 3 go B tunnels. They have 1 guy scouting long. You're going to see Flow6 scout long. But Flow6 is going to make a big mistake here, and it's going to hurt them a lot. He's going to come out long, and he's going to try to scout and just ends up taking too much of a gun battle here. This happens so often. So often. If you don't have the very best spawn, okay, what happens is the CTs cross towards pit side, and you don't see them cross. And this happens so often. A guy gets to here, he's super up close on you, you get stuck battling that guy in the corner, and this guy just runs up on you and kills you. And it happens so often. If you scout long on an anti-eco, you want to literally go there, see if they're there, and fall back immediately. Okay? You do not want to get caught in what I call like no man's land, where you can get ran up on by a CZ or a 5.7 and die here. Because what's going to happen is this guy at the corner is just going to be peeking in and out, basically just baiting for that guy up close. And it happens, honestly, all the time. And he's going to bait for the guy up close, and then as soon as he gets you shooting, that guy up close is going to swing out wide. He's going to pre-fire headshot you, and it's almost impossible to kill him every single time, especially when you have a 5.7 head armor against an MP7. So Flowsick definitely makes a mistake here. And it's actually a very uncharacteristic mistake. If you know Flowsick as a player, he doesn't make many mistakes. That is his strength. Like, a strength of his is not making many mistakes and is playing like good, solid Counter-Strike. The faults of him as a player is that he just doesn't have like the very superior aim, the very super like quick decision making in order for him to like go whip kill someone here, and have that intuition to know where to look at all times. But you know, every player has their strengths and weaknesses. Like there's not anybody in this game that's perfect, you know. So it's not a slight on him. He just needs to play to his strengths more and not make these mistakes, and he could definitely be a part of a winning team. But anyways, we're going to see the round break down a little bit. And he's going to come out here, again, doesn't realize that guy's on the right, gets killed because he didn't have the best spawn possible, and AZR did have the best spawn possible, so he's able to get in that position. This is a very, very common mistake. I know I'm probably harping on it a lot, but I see this fucking constantly, so I really want to point it out to you guys that this is a very common mistake that I see players at all skill levels make. Anyways, after that kill goes down, Elige wisely backs up. Again, if a headshot comes out there by that 5-7, this round's probably over. But they have action going on the other side of the map, which is really nice. They have Adren working into B with Fugly and Nitro, so that's very, very nice. And then Elige is kind of holding the flank here. Now, JKS gets a good spot, comes here. He's actually playing this very, very well. But he ends up dying there, and the Sponge gets a good scout kill. Flanker comes and Yam, and then Fugly gets a super crucial kill, or Adren, sorry. Super crucial kill on him. Elige gets a rotate kill. Now they're in a 2v1. They're just going to come with the bomb with Cat. And right here, there's another little mistake that's made by Elige. So right here, as soon as he knows this guy is on ramp, he actually shouldn't plant the bomb. He should jump on this box and kill him while he's fighting Adren. Because this could go very badly. Sponge ends up killing Adren here. And then look what happens. He's in a 1v1. Had he just stopped planting the bomb and killed him with Adren, this, like right there, that could have been a death for Elige. He only has one scout shot kills Elige right here. He should have killed him with Adren instead of planting there. But instead he plants the bomb. They win the round anyway, so it's whatever. It's not that big of a mistake. But yeah, that's what happens. Okay, so this is an example of where Nitro is going to be really good at. You're going to see, I'm pretty sure they want to do a quick mid to B here and fake long A. They use 4 flashes and I believe a smoke over long. So they're trying to hold those guys at A, and they're going to probably try to go out quick mid B. The strat breaks down pretty damn quickly. Dren gets really gay through these doors, and then they need to quickly audible, okay? And they choose the absolute correct spot to audible. They go up catwalk. If you go up catwalk here and you just win these gun battles, it's pretty easy round to win, right? Like you could definitely just, if you can get this entry and it's a 4v4, you know, it's a really good call to go up here basically. So they come up here and Nitro takes the initiative, and if you get Nitro in spots like these, he's gonna succeed. Like his aim is second to none. All right, this is where he's going to thrive. I mean, I don't know how much damage he did this round. He killed 2 people and probably did like 300 damage, right? Just a monster round by him, right? In a 4v5. So you could take a scenario like this and say, okay, he's great at this, so let's try to replicate that in other matches or other maps. On Mirage, let him go first up A ramp. Let him go through connector first, okay? On Cash, let him go out A main with some pop flashes or like a smoke and a pop flash. Same thing at B. You know, and you could take this and you could apply it to so many different areas on other maps. And this is where he is at his best and where he's going to succeed and how to utilize him properly. Okay, now we're going to take a look at Nitro, and we're going to see him, in my opinion, being underutilized. Ignore these lines. I don't know why the demo has these. I tried reloading it. It was just a glitch. I'm not sure why it's happening. But anyways, Nitro at the B as the B guy here. I do not like this at all. And on Cash, it's a very similar spot. He's the door guy on Cash, and I do not like this at all. Now, here's the problem with this. Against, you know, like, you know, the lesser tiered NA teams, sure, Nitro's going to stat pad in a spot like this because they're not going to push B properly. They're not going to smoke down properly. They're not going to double molly. They're not going to throw proper nades. And Nitro will be able to take advantage of it, getting behind these pillars and killing them. Simple as that. Like, they'll push without any nades and he'll win gun battles being at the logs underneath the pillars. Against tier 1 teams and these really good teams, and especially on LAN, it's not going to happen. Like, you're not in a position to kill these guys at B when they push. So all of a sudden, what position is Nitro in? Well, he's in a position where he's completely reacting to what his teammates are doing, and this is not his strengths. His strengths are not reacting to his teammates' decisions. and playing off his teammates. Really, his strengths, like I discussed earlier, are being the guy that people are playing off of. Now, if Elige is in this spot, this is perfect for Elige, right? He's able to take those gun battles just as well as Nitro if they're pushing it poorly, or if they're pushing without nades, right? And taking those entry frag battles, but not really entry fragging, right? Because you're just kind of taking battles for map control. And he would be great at a spot like this. But instead of him playing here, they have him at middle, which Adren should be at. And Elige should be B, Adren should be middle, and then Nitro should be over around the halls. That way, if Elige is saying 3 people are pushing B, and Adren's saying it, all of a sudden Nitro has all these decisions that he can make, where he could go porch, where he can go out halls, where he can go arch, and he could take the middle control, and then you could play off of him, right? And he could take those those gun battles initiatives, right? Instead, he's at these spots where, look at him. He's watching the flank while they're coming up middle. He's flashing for his teammates. He's not in the spots where he's going to be comfortable and be successful at. And I think that's a pretty big problem. You want your players to be comfortable, obviously. So I think that's a pretty big change that they can make and really help out their team. And I think that's really hurting him, statistically speaking. Like when he was at the ESC LAN, where he really made a name for himself, he had a lot of reign where he was, entry fragging and doing his thing, and people were playing off him, and he statistically performed very, very well. So yeah, that's an example of, I think, him not being utilized properly, and then I'm going to show you an example of him being utilized properly right now. So this round is the round that we all saw on stream. It was like this insane round by JKS. The round starts really good for Liquid. They go, and Elige is going to kill this guy in lower. Then Adren's going to kill the guy at upper B, pushing. And then right after Adren gets this kill, they should be taking B. Not necessarily committing the bomb, but they should have either Adren, Flow Sick, or Elige scout into the site. The reason for that is you just killed 2 people there. You have 3 people that you could scout with. And then Nitro and Fugly can just maintain map control at Green Box, Palm Tree, and Long. So if things go bad and you run into a stack at B, you're immediately set to easily go up Catwalk. Fugly can come from Long. He can smoke out middle. You can go up Cat together. You can even book it towards lower and go out Long if you want. Like, it's very, very easy for you to just change strategies completely and go to the other site if you're going to a stack. But when you have 3 people here, the correct call is to go through B there, especially when you get those 2 kills. Instead, they take it slow, and I mean, they still should have won this round anyways. Don't get me wrong. It was just a very, very slight misplay, but it is worth noting nonetheless, because JKS wouldn't have been in position to make this play. So anyways, they come, he dodges the molly really nicely, and then comes and gets that kill. And now, one of the issues that they had there was Fugly dying. Okay, Fugly dying there is just like a huge issue. You cannot have him die there. What he needs to be doing there is just staying alive at all costs, crouching up and down as much as he can, and not really just taking a gun battle that JKS can win. Because your other 3 positions are stuck pushing quads, right? They're not really flashing. They're just being in straight gun battles. AZR does some good damage here. And now these guys are just all weak. JKS comes in with 10 bullets, takes out 1, takes out 2, reloads. Nitro does a lot of damage to him there because, again, he knows how to play gun battles. But then Adren comes up spawn with 20 health. JKS spots his head and just gets a really nice shot on him. So this was just a fucking great play by him. So after that, like, absolutely heartbreaking round loss to JKS, you'd think, like, Liquid's going to collapse. You know, they're going to fuck up. They're all mentally out of it. And I'm pretty sure Fugly snapbot here and wasn't supposed to, because I really doubt anybody would fully buy out with 4,700 when your team all has like 2,500-ish on average. But he snap buys here, and it actually was going to work out for him. And I think this round kind of speaks to the randomness of Dust2. In Dust2, there's a lot of gimmicky things that can happen. You see most of the upsets probably in the history of Counter-Strike has happened on Dust2. And a lot of that is because there's so many gimmicky shots that you could do. Like, you could just run a fast A, either through Catwalk, up long, or a 3-2 split, and you could win a round versus any team because it's so random and so gimmicky. So they basically just do a fast A here. Fugly has a great long spawn. They buy like pistols, 2 flashes, a smoke, you know, like 5 flashes combined, and they just run out here and they just take long A and win the round basically. This is not usually going to happen, but again, Dust2 is very gimmicky, and these things do happen. So just when you thought Liquid might just crumble and they were set up really poorly for the half, just because of that round that they lost on Eco, you know, everybody on Vox had like 7K. They had a gun on JKS. You know, they're set up really well economically, and Liquid was saving. And if Vox would have won this round clean, it's like, it's one of those rounds where the round before that they lost, that JKS did that crazy shit, where you could see it changing the momentum of the half completely and really just changing the half's outcome from a very Liquid sided half to a very Vox sided half. But instead, Liquid comes out, Fugly snap buys, and they win this crazy pistol round, you know, with 1 AK, and JKS just ends up saving his gun. But yeah, I really think that round speaks to the randomness of Dust2, and kind of goes to show how easy it is for the tides to turn on Dust2, and how easy it is to win these types of rounds. So this is by far the most important round of the match, in my opinion, or at least one of them. We look at Liquid's economy. They're set up really well. Vox decides to double eco in this spot, and that's a very stylistically different than any other team you're going to see here. They ecoed the round before. I didn't show that round, but now they're going to eco again. And Fnatic, Envy, you know, all the American teams like C9 and stuff, and Virtus Pro, they're not going to eco here. Almost every American team is going to buy here. Almost every European team is going to buy here. So it's very different from in the meta game for Vox to double eco here, and it's a very conservative play. It's going to work out for them. They're going to win this round, and it's going to completely turn the tides of this match. When they win this round, economically speaking, they're like in such a good spot because they're going to have a gun on the guy that lives. They're all having 3,500, $6,000 on JKS, you know, and they're basically going to win this round. They're all going to have 6 to 9K essentially, right? A ton of money going into a round 1 with a gun on your backs. And losing this round is just so freaking heartbreaking for Liquid. They opt to pass the op up, which I love. I'm a big fan of passing ops up. And they go towards B tunnel with 2 guys peeking towards upper, and then bam, Nitro just gets like dinked right off the bat here. And then he shouldn't have re-peeked there, dies to JKS, and now they're in a 4v4. And then AZR comes and gets this very crucial kill off Catwalk. And now all of a sudden the CTs are actually a very good spot. The reason they're in a very good spot is they know that there's 2 guys B tunnel, right? Fugly can't really come out long here. The reason he can't come out long here is if this P250 is anywhere, like it's a very easy, it's not an easy one-on-one battle. Had Fugly been playing long A doors more aggressively, he probably would have been able to 1v1 this guy and then win the round pretty easily for his team. But instead he was playing very passively, and because of that, he's not in position to make a play. Havoc could be anywhere. Fugly can't 1v1 him because Havoc could be behind these doors, he could be up close, he could be hiding, you know, blue bend, he could be anywhere. And it's a pretty bad play to come out if you have no idea where the guy is. Had he been playing a little bit more aggressively at long there, though, he would have been able to know he wasn't across the door, and as soon as those kills happened, Fugly could have went out long A, he would have been able to 1v1 him. All of a sudden, all his teammates have to do is go up cat here, and they probably win the round, right? AZR supporting him, but he would have been able to 1v1 him before that happens. He would have been 1v1ing Fugly as soon as AZR killed the guy on cat, walked towards lower. He would have taken that 1v1 battle, won that. They know AZR is on cat. Fugly's pushing out long. All you have to do is kill AZR, and you basically win almost 100% of the time because you're going to plant for long A pit. Most likely the CTs don't have a smoke or anything to smoke diffuse. They can't really come up spawn because Fugly's in pit. Super easy T-sided shot from when you're coming up spawn, and that's generally how the round would break down. Again, we're speaking generalities, but most likely that's how the round's going to break down. Instead, he's playing very passive, and the round breaks down this way. They go mid to B, and like I said, it's pretty CT-sided at this point. Reason being is, AZR could, if he's a good player, which he is, he could usually kill them if they come up catwalk towards A. I don't know why he's playing towards pit, but anyways, they come. Yam gets this kill here. JKS doesn't get his kill, and now they're in a 2v2. Now, the mistake they made is they didn't just plant immediately. Fugly should have gotten this bomb instantly. Like, just as soon as he could. He needed to get this bomb. He was too worried that they came through the smoke in CT and would like have eyes on it and stuff, or maybe he didn't know where the bomb is. Had he gotten this bomb instantly, came and planted like right away, like right now, he planted, they probably win this round for sure. Because he would have been able to get behind Big Box. He would have been able to get in a better spot. Instead, this delayed plant is so crucial into losing this round. Because he can't get in a good spot. They know exactly where he is. They know he's stuck back sight. Flowsick has like 20 health. He's, you know, or 36 health, excuse me. But either way, he's a very easy kill for the T's, or the CTs. And they're able to just make this retake work. He shoots his gun. They know exactly where both players are. Fugly takes a huge nade. Havoc comes to the doors, gets that kill, and then gets this one-on-one on Fugly and defuses the bomb. And again, this is like the most important round of the match. Definitely. Like, this round is absolutely huge. Just economically, momentum-wise, it brings Vox back in the game, sets them up to actually have a good half here and string together some rounds. Okay, now we get to see what Vox is going to do with the full economy. We're going to watch Riam this round. He's going to come and he's going to take this peek. This is a really solid peek to get because it just completely punishes this guy. If you peek low, that guy's always aimed high for the jump towards platform. So this just punishes him completely. We even saw when one of their teammates did it with a CZ. You know, he came and he double dinked the guy and just like, I think it was Nitro there just a couple minutes earlier, and just like raped him. It's a very CT-sided peek. So he comes and he gets that kill instantly. And then like any smart opper, as soon as he gets the kill, he relocates. And Liquid probably thinks he's opping back a B here because they take catwalk control very poorly. Liquid's actually still in a good spot this round. The reason they're in a good spot this round is because of Fugly. He took long A control, and they still have nades to get up cat. They have 2 smokes, 2 molotovs, 3 flashes. That is enough to get up cat. They smartly have the guy with 0 nades in the pit. And they're actually set up really well here. Like, this isn't, even though it's 4v5, they have a very good positional advantage because Fugly's in the pit. And they could definitely win this round. If they save a Molotov for A site and they take up catwalk smartly, it could definitely be a 1 round. Instead, they do it very, very poorly. This is a super common angle that you're going to see like at every level, right? We see this literally gold Novas play this angle. Everyone plays this angle. And Flowsick gets caught running up catwalk. You got to throw a flash there before you cross. You just have to. It's just how it is. And then Nitro jumps up and dies, right? I want to point out this, though, by Havoc. This was like a super bad play by him. I really have no idea why he did this. Literally just gave up like a free kill here. It's not going to make a difference in the round because Elijah's going to run through the smoke and just die. But I just don't know why he does that, why he did that. I think that was a really bad play. And I think if he watches this, he's going to completely agree with me. That there was like no point in doing that. It doesn't matter in the end. They live with 4 people. They have a fully stacked economy. And Vox is a really, really good team when they have like a full economy. Like, they really know how to play CS when they have a full economy. I think they struggle a bit more when they have, from what I've seen of them, like at Gfinity. Obviously, I haven't watched like a lot of Australian matches and stuff, but they seem to be really good with the full economy. But they're not as good in the shit economy rounds where they have like a Mag 7 and a FAMAS and like maybe one guy has an op and like one M4 and like a 5.7 and shit like that. And the really great teams like Fnatic, like Envy, like TSM, they know how to make those rounds work. You know, like they really do. They win those rounds. JW gets an op, he makes it 4v5. The Mag 7er knows he's in a good spot, and he, you know, goes 1 for 1 or something, and then they grind out a 3v2. You know, those teams really make it work, and it's something that Vox, if they want to take that next level, I think has to work on. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but yeah. So this round is just like so poorly. The communication on this round is ridiculously bad. Nitro gets a gun here, and he gets the op. He doesn't drop anybody. So their whole flow of the round is completely fucked up because he just takes a free gun, doesn't even think about Flowsick. Flowsick's sitting there with a fucking clock. And they pass him up the op so that he could use his spawn to get the long pick. He has to stop halfway through because Flowsick doesn't have a gun. He didn't drop a gun at the start of the round. So he has to go back, and the whole flow of this round is just ruined. All of a sudden, he drops the op to Adren. He buys an AK. Adren throws him the op, and then the flow of the round's like completely ruined. Adren's set up here, but Havoc just rapes him. Like, Jesus, that was quick by Havoc. That was really nice by him. Just completely rapes Adren, and then we see what Vox can do with a double op setup, and they're really freaking scary with a double op setup. They have lung control. They even have a guy in catwalk smoking off cat, so you can't take cat control. Like, you can't just run up cat or anything, especially because they have an opper at middle. And all of a sudden, you know, they're set up really well, and they have a full economy. It's 4v5, and yeah, it's tough to watch from here. Like that. I'm telling you, that little mix-up actually just ruins the round completely. Netro's in a good spot here. If Yam's not careful, he's going to kill him. This is a great spot to play in. You could see above the smoke. It's very difficult for the opera to kill you, but they come up catwalk and they set up in a really nice spot and just, you know, come catwalk. They wanted to do like a 2-2 split there, and now they're in like a really good position of boxes. They have catwalk control. They have ops so that they have to smoke the crosshair, but guess what? Liquid doesn't even have a smoke with 20 seconds left, so it's basically just impossible to win the round at this point, as we're gonna see. One of the reasons Liquid did so poorly, and I hate to be like negative about it, I was on a team with Adren. I mean, we won EAC LAN together versus Titan in the finals. You know, beat Complexity really badly on the way there, and he's a pretty good player. And I just don't know why, for whatever reason on LAN and CSGO, he hasn't been able to pull it together. For some reason, Vox pushes up mid there, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I just think you should just play, you know, pretty standard setups when you have the lead like that. But instead, they push up mid, and they're in a pretty good spot. Havoc here really fucks up. Like, as soon as he took that shot, he needed to just run, book his car, you know, get out of there. Throw some counter flashes, counter nades, whatever. And Dren's actually able to get this op here. And right here, like, Liquid definitely has a chance to win this round. Now, the mistake they make is that Nitro, first off, was out of position. He should have just followed directly behind Adren. But instead, he kind of goes out on his own right here and dies to Yam. Where he should have been is, he should have been on the right wall of the catwalk. Now, Adren, I'm going to rewind that really quick. Adren had a kill there. Like, if he gets that kill, this round is actually very different. And it's definitely probably a kill he should have had. Now, going back, what I was saying was Nitro should have been on this wall while Adren comes up here. Small mistake, but it happens. Adren sees that guy cross. Middle gets smoked. He's going to get on that thing. And this is a kill that Adren should have got. The reason he didn't get it is because he double scoped right here. Had he just like either double scoped off the bat or stayed single scope, he would have had that kill. Instead, he comes out and he misses another shot. So far, we've actually seen like 2 scenarios where there were very critical kills that he didn't get that he could have got. The one at Long with Havoc, and then that one, and then also the one in B Tunnel when Yam just came and opt him. So all 3 of those, he could have had the kills, and they were super crucial kills, and he's gotten outpicked. And we're going to see, like, it's a very common theme that he's getting this op, and he's just not making an impact. Simple as that. He's not making an impact. I don't know why, because he's good. I'm not calling him, like, an online player. He was, like, the best op in Source. The best op in Source, literally. And he doesn't play, like, a very online play style. I just don't know why. I really don't know why. But on LAN, he just has not been able to pull it together. And it's been actually a very common theme. Knowledgeable guy, smart guy, knows how to op, has a lot of skill. I just don't know why he hasn't been able to put it together, truthfully. Now, Liquid's probably frustrated. They go back to the fast A. You know, it worked with those pistols. Maybe it'll work again. They do like a 3-2 with 2 out long. Havoc smartly this time falls back. Obviously, it's a different situation. This is the start of the round before it was, mid-round. But anyways, takes a good angle here. They have full catwalk control. Fosa comes up, dies. There's no trade to be had. Havoc kills the guy that's running up pit. Elise kind of has to take that peek, though. Like, he does. That's not a mistake by him. They didn't have many nades. You know, these guys are stuck at catwalk. You kind of have to make a play at long, right? And the round just goes terribly from there. I mean, they have 0 positional advantage. They're getting flanked from lower. They have no map control, and it's just a slaughter. And again, man, Vox with fully bought guns is tough to beat. It is. Like, you may think this is actually like really scrimmy by Vox, but it's actually really smart because they know that like Liquid probably doesn't have an op right now, right? Like, they probably know that, and they're picking middle. And as soon as his teammate sees that nobody's there, this guy just like runs up here, gets in a gay spot, and honestly, like, as soon as he gets here, this round should be over. Like, this should be a more run round, a 1 round, almost always. For some reason, Elijah's like hyper aware of this though. Like, I don't understand how he thinks that somebody could be here, but look, he's like checking it for some reason. But Nitro was fast pass and like saw that nobody was there, and he actually checks it and gets this kill. Havoc gets the kill boosted there, and then they're in a 3v5, and like they almost never win these rounds, I've noticed, where it's like a 3v4, a 3v3 and stuff like that. Liquid has a really tough time like coming back into the rounds when they don't have the advantage, when they fall behind. And a lot of that is because their players never take the initiative to just try to like even it up and make a play, to be honest. That's really just what you have to do in those situations. So they're in a 3v3 though, and Havoc gets a kill on Flowsick. Not really sure. Flowsick was trying to sell him mid to B while they come up long, basically, but Havoc was in a pretty good spot to stop that. And now they basically know they're coming long, and it's pretty tough to cross long when you don't smoke off cat. And that's a very CT-sided shot as well. You're gonna see Elijah has like no health. This is very CT-sided. If you come like this and you're peeking around here, killing the people on the cross, it's very CT-sided. And then Molotov the site end up winning the 2v1 pretty easily. So, alright, second half. And I have a question for you guys. Have you guys ever seen one smoke win around before? One smoke. That's it, just one smoke. Have you ever seen it? Just stop for a second, ask yourself, what smoke won this round? Like, where was it thrown that won this round? One smoke from Sponge won this round. Like, do you think it was a mid doors? Do you think it was like a long cross? Do you think it was at like B? Do you think they took up A site from long and then smoked off cat and they like ran through it while they after they planted and died? But one smoke won this round, and we'll see what it is right here in a sec. So Vox basically just 5 mans long, and they probably have the option of either. So this is probably what they're thinking right here. Okay, we're gonna go out long. If we get the kills here, we'll smoke the cross. We'll cross. We'll plant the bomb. We'll win the round. If we don't get the kills, we're gonna fall back. We're gonna go and we're gonna throw this one smoke that wins the round. He's gonna smoke off Xbox, and they're gonna take up cat while they leave someone long. That's the plan. That's probably their strat. Okay, simple as that. Pretty smart though. Liquid basically does a mid crunch, right? And you think like, okay, at right here, you think Liquid set up perfectly. They know nobody's B. They know they're going catwalk. They have a boost, NOA boost, and they have lower B tunnels control. This shit's over. How the fuck could Vox win this round, right? Liquid is positionally set up so good, right? But Sponge throws the smoke of the century. And they actually only sent 2 people cat. Sorry, I thought they would send more. But they don't kill anybody coming up catwalk. They don't kill him. And then Flow6 just stuck in a site. Completely solo with 3 guys coming up long, 2 guys coming up cat. And they have to play a retake before we. Not only did they not kill anybody up catwalk, but Elish has 5 health. That is ridiculous. They were set up so perfect there, man. That's like so heartbreaking. But anyways. One smoke, man. One smoke won the round. I mean, it's not just one smoke. It was one smoke and Liquid's poor mid-round decision-making as well. That won the round. For Vox. 4th round. You know who has an op. Ask yourself what could happen here. How is he going to die? Is he going to try to pick middle and kill someone? Is he going to go long A? Go B tunnel? Look how fucking Adren dies here. This is not Adren's fault at all. Adren might be the most unlucky player I have ever seen in my goddamn life. He's 5 and 16. He's having a bad game. You know, like there's no other way to put it. He's having a bad game, and and when things are going bad, right, they can only go worse. Look what fucking happens. You're thinking here, all right, he's probably gonna die like picking mid or something. No, Nitro throws a smoke. They throws. There's actually 2 smokes there. Gets a fucking K. He gets fucking AK jumping across the smoke. Are you kidding me? How did that just happen? He's the most unlucky player. How are you not emo in that situation? He must be so emo. That's ridiculous. I don't even care about the rest of this round. I cannot believe that just happened. Are you serious, dude? Dude, the CS gods were not on Adren's side that day. I'm sorry, but that is ridiculous. So Vox, the round before, if you guys didn't watch, just rushed B. They ended up losing the round in a 1v2. But I mean, the thing about Vox is like you got to be ready for anything. Like these guys do some shit, right? You know, they're not afraid to like jump through smokes. They're not afraid to B rush. They're not afraid to like just do like super aggressive strategies. They set up in just like a basic default here. They have a double op setup though, right? And they set up in a basic default. They like to smoke Xbox instead of the mid doors. That's so that the opera can't pick them, I'm guessing. And then Adren gets pushed off cat here. They smoke. They have a Molotov follow up so you can get back to A. And now it's basically just like T's have catwalk control. They have a minute left in the round. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They opt to do a spawn drop, right? And Adren comes here and he checks if anybody's lurking out long. He doesn't see him. So this is like a mistake by him and maybe communication wise, because him and Elysia here, but Adren doesn't realize that they're spawn dropping. But they do know that they're coming A. The reason they know they're 100% coming A is because they have 2 players pushing upper B tunnels, right? So they're 100% coming A here. So them as a team, they should have been more ready for this. Maybe like Adren could have used his smoke on the bricks or something like that. Elysia maybe could have counter flashed earlier just to give his teammates some more time. But anyways, they spawn drop smoke and they smoke a site like so. And then AZR just runs up spawn and gets that kill. Adren's looking up top and kills one of his teammates there. And then Elysia is kind of working around the smoke here. But again, that guy comes from spawn and just basically wins that round for them, right? Or at least gets them to a winnable situation, I should say. But right here, like, this should not happen. This should not be a 1 round for JKS. First off, those guys on catwalk should not be like able to do what they did. Right there, Nitro should have got the kill on JKS, but as soon as JKS gets behind those barrels, it's actually pretty T-sided. He's just wasting as much time as possible here and ends up getting a kill. But right here, like, this was the kill that actually, like, going 1 for 1 here was the biggest round changing play in my opinion, after the guy spawn dropped. So I'm going to show that one more time. Whenever you're coming up catwalk here in like the post plant, excuse me, I actually need to go 2 rounds back. One sec, guys. So it might not seem like this is that big of a deal, but most players at this level know how to take these gun battles. So right here, when these guys are coming up catwalk, you never want to just like run up right here, right? You always want to get up on the stairs. You never want to do that. You want to take this smart. You want to go up on here and you want to like crouch up and down. Because as soon as you see this guy, even if you just jump, even if you come over here and you jump and you see him here, just get that vision first, and then you know how to take the gun battle afterwards. They didn't do that. And that was actually really crucial. Fugly came up here like lackadaisically, you know, like without a care in the world, tra la 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 la, like he just what's that? Hopscotch? Yeah, hopscotching around the playground at recess at elementary school. And he comes and he just gets owned by the guy just chilling there, waiting for him. So you never want to come up these steps like a fucking noob, basically. You know, I mean, that's honestly what the fuck they did there. Like, he came up like a noob. And you guys might think I'm being mean, but I guarantee you, if he watches this, he's going to say the same thing, that he fucked up there. He should have came here and either jumped, or when he came here, taking it smart, taking it slow. You don't need to just rush. He just planted the bomb. You're in no rush. Take your time. All right, and Vox ends up winning that match, 16-8, I believe, is the final score. And in conclusion, some thoughts about Vox, just to reiterate a little bit. Pretty aggressive play style, pretty cool play style. Definitely unlike other players or other teams. Really tough to beat when they have a full economy. Changes up their CT a lot, keeps you guessing on T side, and on T side they aren't afraid to just rush B. They aren't afraid to rush long. They aren't afraid to jump through smokes. You know, I watched them on Inferno jumping through smokes at like the banana car area and stuff like that. They don't care about that, man. They'll do it, and it's pretty cool to watch. Definitely a unique play style. As far as Liquid is concerned, definitely needed more impact from a Dren at this tournament. I said earlier, like, although a lot of that stuff isn't his fault, you know, like jumping across the mid doors and dying, in the actual spots where you had like gun battles when he had an op, he was 0 for 3. And, you know, that might not seem like, oh, 0 for 3, that's not much, but throughout the event, he was going like 0 for 3 on maps. So it was a pretty big detriment to his team. Another thing, I'll reiterate it again. I don't think people are in the proper positions to succeed and to be comfortable in. Maybe they are, but that's just like my opinion. I don't think their players are in the right strengths, you know, position-wise on like T side and some CT sides. And then, you know, their mid-round decision-making, it seems like they almost never win a 3v3 or a 4v4 and things like that. And a lot of that just comes down to communication. I almost guarantee you, if we were in their mumble and I was listening to it, their communication is probably really, really poor in that areas. Certain people not giving directions when they need to and playing off each other and things like that. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. If you guys do like it, make sure you guys, you know, rate it, comment, or like it, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitter and my stream. Both are at DaZeD. And, you know, tweet me your thoughts about it. That's about it, man. That's enough for this vlog. Thank you guys once again for watching, and until next time, peace out.